Okay. So hi, hello, good afternoon, everyone present over here. I, Dr. Manali Kesarkar, welcome you all to Homeopathy, this very special musing session on the homeopathic musings. Um, just before we start, one second. Yeah, just before we start, I would like to tell you all the journey of how homeopathic musing started. We, Dr. Preeti and Dr. Prajakta, as you know, are practicing in Malad since many years, and this started just as a small study circle group in the clinic. And just as an experiment, since COVID, we started going online for the webinars, and this experiment turned out to be phenomenal, and everyone loved it and responded so well with their love and support to us that it's been a year almost since we started musing, and we have joined so many homeopaths across who know us and who love the work that we are doing. And they love it because it's not restricted to anyone. Anyone can come and share their views, their opinions, their cases, their difficulties on homeopathic musings, and people love the pattern that we follow of homeopathic musings. And we have done lots of webinars which are conducted every first and third Saturday of the month, daily, every month. And also we have conducted few modules in the past, such as the mammals module and the mollusk module, which received tremendous response from the participants all over. And now we are still upcoming with many few courses that are lined up, and I'll like to inform you all regarding these courses. We also have this meditation workshop coming on the 19th of June, which is about the circle of life and how we are stuck in this, and what is the core of this circle of life. What is it that helps people to come out of this ruckus that we are in and meditate and calm yourselves through the meditation that Dr. Preeti will be conducting on 19th of June. So do join us for the Circle of Life meditation. Also, Dr. Preeti and Dr. Prajakta conduct yoga and meditation sessions, free sessions every Friday, for yoga sessions with Dr. Prajakta at 7 a.m. and meditation sessions with Dr. Preeti at 7 a.m. on Saturdays. We have a basic course, contemporary course of basic homeopathy of sensation and PM method, which is based on the pathway of Dr. Shankar and Dr. Sholton, Dr. Gandhi and Dr. Yakir. Few homeopaths who have more than 20 years of experience and who are very dear to us, that is our mentors, Dr. Jyoti, Dr. Chanda, Dr. Geeta, Dr. Nirupama, Dr. Reni, Dr. Preeti and Dr. Prajakta would be coming together and integrating everything of these learnings of Dr. Shankar and Dr. Sholton, Dr. Gandhi and Dr. Yakir with the basics of sensation and PM method. And everything would be covered in very in-depth and detail. So do join us for this basic course that is coming up on this 16th of June. So do register if you all haven't registered for it. We also have this repertory intensive session going on already. We have completed first session with Dr. Arshi, Dr. Kushala, Dr. Preeti and Dr. Prajakta. Managing Acutes with repertory is already done on the 8th of May. The upcoming session is there on the 12th of June, which is Mind Rubrics, which will be specifically done by Dr. Arshi and Dr. Kushala with Mind Rubrics, and there will be two sessions of it on 12th June and the 10th of July. And the fourth session will be done by all four of them on exploring single remedy rubrics. So do join us if you all haven't registered for this repertory intensive session. Recordings will be made available to you if you have still missed the first part of the session. So do register for this session. As I told you all, Musings is always conducted on the first and third Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m. and it is free for everyone all across the globe. So if you want to register for it or join our WhatsApp group, do write to us on homeopathicmusings@gmail.com. We also have a mentoring session done every second Tuesday of the month from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m., which is known as the Beat the Blues. And here the mentors on our panel help you solve the difficult cases or any difficulty you have, or you're stuck with the cases. The mentors help you all to come through the cases, and what could be applied and given to the patient is guided by the mentors here. So if you have any difficult cases, we have it on this coming Tuesday, Beat the Blue sessions. If you have any difficult cases that you're stuck with, do write to us on homeopathicmusings@gmail.com. Your valuable feedback regarding the musings is also important to us. So do write to us on every musing session how you felt about the session, and your love, whether you something that we need to improve or you like or you don't like regarding the session, do let us know. If you have any questions, any difficulties, or anything regarding the recordings, the coordinator numbers are just given on the screen. You can coordinate us or write us on homeopathicmusings@gmail.com. Some basic hygiene factors that I would want to tell you all. You need to mute your lines all the time. Refrain from typing in the chat box until very necessary, as it distracts the speakers. We can take the questions in between and keep the session interactive. So do not put a lot of comments on the chat box. We'll help you all unmute the lines and speak up if you have any difficulties, or you could raise your hand if you have any questions. You can make notes while the session is going on. And with that, I would like to welcome Dr. Pallavi Chaturvedi. Ma'am, welcome today to the Homeopathic Musing Sessions. We are glad and honored to have you today on Musings. I would like to speak something about ma'am. Dr. Pallavi Chaturvedi is a renowned homeopathic practitioner from Hahnemann and Homeopathic Forum, and she's been practicing since 14 years, and she's also an author to the book Revisiting Fundamentals of Homeopathy. And she has been a national speaker on the dais of HHF and ASHA several times, and she has presented a lot of pathological cases. And you all know her very well, Dr. Pallavi Chaturvedi. I feel today many people from HHF have joined today for ma'am. Ma'am, I welcome you, and we are very glad and honored to have you today on Homeopathic Musings. Dr. Preeti has something special to share with all of you all today. So I'll hand over the mic to Dr. Preeti. Ma'am, are you there?
Yes, I am here, and I hope you're able to see both Prajakta and me. So along with a lot of new people who are joining Musings for the first time, we have a lot of people who are following Musings today. So some of y'all know Dr. Pallavi, you've been following her work and her teachings, and some of y'all know us. But I'm not sure if all of y'all know that, Dr. Pallavi and, Prajakta and me and so many of us, we started our homeopathic journey together. We studied together. We bunked classes together. We've been punished by our teachers together, and we have laughed and cried and, cheated in our exams together. So we've come a long way, and I think we've grown as individuals with our unique qualities. I remember when we were doing our internship, I think Pallavi had already joined Dr. Rao sir's clinic. She used to attend that. She used to live there that time. And she used to tell us, what she learned in the clinic during our OPD breaks or, things like that. Of course, then Prajakta and I started, learning the sensation method and following Dr. Shankaran. So, and our journeys went slightly separate ways, but I think at the core of it, at the root of it, we always stayed together. We made it a point that later we stopped talking homeopathy when we met. But I'm so glad that we have Pallavi here today, and I'm really looking forward to learning from her. She's been an exceptional homeopath. We've heard so much about her. I also remember one night, I don't know, Pallavi, if you remember this, but it was at her house. we were we all of us, all the girls had met at her place, and that's when Prajakta and I told them that, you know, this is our plan for healing harmony and this is how we are going to begin our journey. And we charted out all of it at your place. I don't know if you still remember that, but that was many many years back. Prajakta and I put up a little video for all of you all to see a little glimpse of what Pallavi was at that time and what our relationship is. So I'm going to share that. And I'm going to try and unmute you, Pallavi. So if you need to try and speak, you can. I'm sure you're facing difficulty. So let me do that. But I'm going to share this little video and then we will, of course, learn homeopathy. Yeah. So
Oh my God. I want to be younger again.
here it goes.
Yes, our roots will always be there, common roots. And for
Yeah,
years, we'll keep remembering these days,
exactly. So,
even if we don't meet for years.
so
Nice,
welcome
nice.
once again, Pallavi.
Yeah.
And without further ado, over to you. And we really look forward to learning from you today.
Yes, thank you so much, Preeti, Prajakta, and all my dear friends over here. Dr. Manali for helping me out arrange the lecture. And it's a very different feeling, different of a kind, because for all the lectures that I've taken till now, this is something very special because it takes me back to my roots, from to where I belonged before coming into HHF. And these girls had really been there for me, and because of them also, a great share belongs to them to mold me and make me this strong. If I talk more, I'll start crying again. So better, let's start with the lecture scheduled for today, because so many of them have made their space and joined. 500 of them are there already, and I'm sure many wanted to join. So I just hope they all get the recordings. And I'll share my screen and begin with the presentation. So, so before going to the cases, there is something that I would like to talk on. I hope the screen is visible to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You can make it PowerPoint so that the whole screen is visible, like as
Right.
in full PowerPoint view. Yeah.
Is it visible now
Yes,
completely?
yes.
Okay. So, homeopathy for COVID-19, a very, very controversial topic. When I thought of taking on it, I thought, Facebook will just ban us, YouTube will ban us. I don't know if this is going to work out or not. Since 1 month it was scheduled, we had planned it. So, I didn't know that we would really be able to reach up to here, but we have reached. That means this thing has been acceptable, that homeopathy for COVID-19. Many people have taken, many have been benefited, many have taken and not been benefited. But this is the story of all the pathies of today. So let's move ahead. I'm just going to share some lines, some quotations from our masters. The screen is not changing for some reason. How do I go back now? Are you now it's changing. So so these lines quotations I have taken from the book of Dr. Thomas Pablo Pastero. He is a homeopathic physician. He's a MD doctor, and then he had opened a homeopathic college in Argentina. He had taken lectures all over the world, including India. So you will see some things which are from Indian origin to what he has written in his book. So it's really beautiful to understand through him, because he has incorporated the concepts of Dr. Boynning-Gosson, Dr. Hahnemann, Dr. Kent. He's a physician of the 19s, like 1904 to 1986 is his life journey. So you will see everything which other masters, the originators, the discoverers of homeopathy, and he has concluded all of the studies which they have done for us. So what he says, what is a human being? How do we study? If we are studying a human being, what do we need to consider in that? If you see this picture, I really loved a lot, because it incorporates every aspect of this universe, of this earth. So when a baby is born, that is also incorporating all the elements. It is not just two cells fusing, but a lot of other things which are coming into being. So human being is not an organism. An organism functions. It is a living cell, but it lacks certain qualities, and that is why human beings are different than organism. It is not an organism, but has an organism that belongs to his or her being. It has some special components which only an organism does not behold. How is it possible to study the human being and as an abstraction, as a segregated organism in complete isolation, with no sense of a biological and emotional relationship with the world? So this is the difference between human being and an organism, that it beholds a very special bond wherever it goes, whether it touches a plant, whether it touches an animal, it develops a relationship altogether. Dr. Boynning-Gosson says, soul gives meaning to the body, and body is the vehicle through which the soul expresses itself. So you see, the word soul is used by many homeopaths for their books, for their teachings. So what does Dr. Boynning-Gosson? He was not a homeopath initially. He was a lawyer by profession. He was an agriculturist. So then after succumbing to tuberculosis, he then diverted to homeopathy. And then he gained his degrees, and then he became a professional homeopath, and he contributed immensely. So, not being from a medical field, that's how Dr. Mohanty, sir, whom we lost recently. So, these people, you will see how they have transformed themselves into homeopaths and how much they have contributed. So, for having this kind of love for the science, which a non-medico beholds and then grows the science to the extent, I think those doctors, they have been rebirth in the form of the masters that we have come across in our lives. And they will keep taking birth for the development and progress of our science for years to come. Dr. Boynning-Gosson says soul gives meaning to the body, and body is the vehicle through which the soul expresses itself. It's so beautiful. Like you have a dead body and a living body. The organs are there, organism is there, but what is missing is the soul, the being. Soul directs and regulates the body. The disturbances it suffers generates disease and pathology itself. So you see, the body does not develop pathology on its own. It is the soul that directs it. Such a beautiful line he has written. In homeopathy, now why homeopathy is so special, because it touches the soul of the person. And that is why these masters, Dr. Boynning-Gosson, Dr. Hahnemann, Dr. Kent, all of them, they diverted themselves from being an allopath to being a homeopath. The patient is considered as a whole person who, as his personality evolves, now we will see what is this personality also, develops adaptive responses to his environment. And that is why Dr. Rao always, Dr. Milind Rao's foundation when a person joins HHF would be to explain this concept that a person is related to his environment and he undergoes a process of adaptation, which we have to understand in disease. Organic or symptomatic medicine works on only, you see this word only is very important. Symptomatic medicine or organic medicine works only on the phenomenal plane, where we see the result of illness, which is really a dynamic disturbance. So having cough is actually a dynamic disturbance, but we are only analyzing the cough, what color the cough is, what texture the cough is, from where is it arising, but why is it arising? When it is arising, whether it is arising when the person is alone or when he's surrounded by people. So that is the dynamicity of the cough, which we have to really understand. And homeopathy works from within the causal plane of life. Now, what is this phenomenal plane and causal plane? These are the lines of Dr. Pablo Pastureau. You see how deeply he studied these phenomena and have presented. Now, Dr. Preeti and Prajakta are involved in yoga and they must be already aware of this. So, in traditional Hindu Vedic cosmology, if you see, there are three worlds of existence. And what depth of understanding and explanation they have given to these things, which are connected with our day to day dealing with our patients and treating patients. You see, how whether you call it traditional, whether you say that I'm talking something from mythological world, but it is very much scientific. You see, there are three worlds of existence. One is the bhuloka, the physical plane. So at the physical plane, when we study a person, a diseased person, our patient, at the physical level, okay, then one is the antarlok, or the subtle or astral plane, where our memories belong, where our hereditary way of thinking pattern belongs. That my mom gets anxious on standing in the dark, and I also get anxious if there is darkness. So that is something that I have just inherited from her, a kind of behavior pattern that I want everything to be spick and span, and my daughter adopts this kind of behavior pattern. So this is from subtle or astral plane. Okay, the memory, whatever is there inside the past, has just come again in the present. Now here there is no thinking involved. Okay, here there is no creativity involved. The person is not thinking to do this, but it just comes naturally to him. Okay, the third level is the Sivalok. They say that Shiva stays here, and scientifically if you see, it is the causal plane. Now what is causal plane? If you see this picture very nicely, it has shown that the people are striving hard to cross this and go to the causal plane. Here, if we understand, because the line, if you see in the previous slide, what he told, that homeopathy belongs to this causal plane and organic or subtle medicine belongs to the physical plane. Okay, what is causal plane? Causal plane is the world of light and blessedness, where you see light, where you seek for light, where you get a direction, where your questions are answered. That is the causal plane. It is the highest heavenly region extolled in the scriptures of all faiths. In all our faiths, we believe in God. We believe in something which is cosmic, which has a superpower which normal human being does not possess. And we all look up to that power, that is this power which controls everything of this universe. And we call it Allah, we call it Jesus, we call it Krishna, we call it multiple names. Names are endless, but what are we looking up to, what are we praying to, is this, the highest heavenly regions. Okay, foundation of existence. Now all these things are a part of human being, and that is why it is human being, because we keep changing, we keep having so many thoughts, we have visions. The source of vision, the point of conception, even when a child just thinks of doing a drawing. So that is the point of conception that he has, that I want to draw a dog or I want to draw a car. The apex of creation, the kind of fulfillment, the kind of happiness a person feels after reaching somewhere, after achieving something, after doing something, excelling in something. So this picture also just depicts a part of this, that how happy she is doing the work that she really loves to do. Radiant bodies of centillions of quantum of light, they all operate at this causal plane. And when homeopathy is given to a person, and when we take homeopathy for our disease, we all start operating at this causal plane. From the routine, from the sedentary lifestyle, we all come out, we excel, we give momentum to our creativities inside. Now, this life is a medium through which we can fully realize our potential. Okay, life and disease, this is what we are dealing with every day. So, life is a medium through which we realize. Why do we say that, I want to have a next life and I don't like this life, or better to die? People say different things about life, that even nowadays there are senior citizens who look forward for living more, and in Japan they have written a book on it, that how to live more than 100 years. So even after 50, even after 60, they are thinking of doing things which they have not done up to 50 years of their life. So that is reaching the full potential, and that is what only a human being can do, reaching to the fullest of our potential. That even if today I'm taking a lecture, but for some other doctor, like in HHF we have Dr. Mayur or Dr. Krishan, our sirs were there. So I will always look forward to become like them. And then when I reach there, I will feel, no, it is still limited. Our science is so boundless. We have to go little higher. I have to go little higher. I have to excel. I have to grow. So even after 100 years, if we say that, I have reached up to here, but no, it is never the end. So our potential has to keep rising. We have to always keep motivating ourselves, and that is the causal plane of living. That wherever you reach, always think that, we have to go further. We have to do this. Take a break and just go ahead. If you're exhausted, take a break, shut down everything, then move ahead with a faster pace. So that is life. What is disease? Disease is a struggle against the limitations of inner and outer worlds. So what is this? And these concepts Sir Rao sir had explained so beautifully in very simple ways. He used to explain us that, just this example I have been giving many times, that in the waiting, a patient is coughing and he would say that, he wants to get in. What time pass are you doing? This is what the patient is saying in the subconscious, that ye doctor kya time pass kar hai? What is he doing with his students? Why can't he just take us in, take me in, because I'm suffering? Because the patient starts coughing loudly. So that is what is his limitation, that he can't open the door and come inside. So he coughs, and that cough tells us that, you need to open the door and take me inside. So this is a limitation of inner. What is the limitation of inner? Inner world is what? Our conscience, our thoughts, which tell us that, you cannot speak like this to your parents. The child cannot rebel to his parents. The child cannot slap his parents. The child cannot throw things on his parents. That is the inner world. Like, that child could be 40 years old child also, and it could be a 10-year-old child also. That is the limitation of his inner world, and the outer world has his own limitations. That I cannot hug my son. The mother says that, and he's 40 now. How much should I keep pampering him? He's a grown-up child. So there are limitations, and disease comes in. Disease is what? This is the obstacle for realization of the true self. When we fall ill, we realize, we just sit back and we can think over that, what is the obstacle of my life? How to overpower that obstacle? How to just, so the milestones that a small child has, We say that he's having teething troubles when he's learning to walk, when he's learning to talk. The child tends to get fever before any a new milestone comes over. So that is disease. That is the milestone that he has to achieve. So after that disease goes over, the patient, the person is better able to cope up with the similar scenario. And this happens mostly after taking homeopathy, or even in general also. If the limitation can be overcome by mutual discussion, that also happens, and then the ride becomes a smoother ride. So disease is very much essential. It's a blessing for living a good life, a healthier life, and a longer life. Now, what is the role of medicine in life and in disease? Medicine cannot be merely biological. It is also anthropological. It is such a beautiful line. I just love this line, because what are we doing in medicine? We say that medicine as a subject we had in our 4th year. So in that we learned about diseases, we learned about medicines. Like if tuberculosis is there, the antibacterials are there, the treatment protocol is there. But it is not only biological, that you just don't have to kill that bacteria, but it is anthropological. What is anthropology? Anthropology is human biology, the biology that is made up of physical, mental, and spiritual elements. So in homeopathy, this is the speciality, that actually we are the ones who are dealing with anthropology, because we consider all the elements of human living, humanity. Now, talking about homeopathy and disease and medicine, how this takes place, this entire shift takes place. This transition of a human being takes place from life to disease. There is a word, emotion. Emotion is what Mohanty sir used to tell us. It's energy in motion. E is energy. We use this so commonly these days. Email, uh, for everything that has to move fast, we use E. Okay, E is the sign of that movement, a moving outwards, a liberation of feelings. When we express ourselves, when we talk about our inner feelings, we liberate ourselves. Why we feel lighter, right? Like when we used to travel in train up to Kharghar for college, and we had a very long time, and we used to talk a lot. That was a liberating feeling for us, that we would discuss about so many things. We would express everything that happened at home, with boyfriend, with sister, brother, with anything and everything we would discuss. So that is a liberation in itself. When emotion is repressed or sidetracked from normal consciousness, that is from the discharge of psychic energy. So this is what is psychic energy. When that is sidetracked, or it is not allowed or given that space to express, it is transformed into physical disturbances. This is a MD physician saying, mind you, it is not Pallavi saying. Pathological symptoms are surrogate expressions of repressed emotions. You see, this is a very self-explanatory line. Every symptom is a part of the patient's life context. Each symptom has a meaning to be unlocked. So now, what do we study? Milindra sir taught us how to study a symptom. Like if a patient has what on the left hand fingertip, then what is the meaning of that? It is that the creativity, emotionally, the child is being hurt when he tries to do something creatively. So that emotionally, it could be mostly from the mother or the father. So this is how every symptom has something, some deeper meaning to be unlocked. Now, these studies are going on in Germany. In Europe, they are doing this kind of study, vector heat map of human body in response to emotions. You see the lightning effect, the cold and hot spots they have seen. where with the emotions, these lights come up differently. The stimulation comes up in different areas of the body. Like in love, there is stimulation in the chest, in the head, in the pelvic area. Now with anxiety, there is more stimulation in the chest area, like we feel palpitation. So with pride, it is more in the head area. With shame, there is depressive, there is shame seen in the eyes of the person, and depressing effect all over the limbs. So this is the kind of study they are doing in psychodynamics. The physician must be attuned to the process of the personality. Now, what is this personality? That this word is used in our homeopathy very, very, very often. Ego, superego, all of us have known this. In psychology, we all have studied this. So, physician must be attuned to the process of the personality, which to a greater or lesser extent, every patient will express. So every patient will express. It is not that, if only a talkative patient is going to express. If the patient is not talking also, that he's expressing something. Personality, what is personality? Let's understand. What we are in appearance is our personality. So in terms of human relationships, how we deal with each other, what we develop in the social milieu. So in front of society, how we appear is personality. The mask that we build in order to face the world's demands, the myth that each of us lives in aspiration of the regard of others, of success and self-affirmation. So this is, as per others, how we behave is personality. And person, what we are in our innermost depths. It is what conditions, so what conditions our mood, our unconscious will, the motivations to act, from where they are originating, the thoughts and determinations, they arise from a person's depth, and they are far more powerful than what the conscious personality can ever bring forth. So we have to understand this person in all the cases that we see, and how he has developed his personality. What is this transition? How he is adapting? That is the adaptation. And homeopathy deals with all diseases in this similar manner, including COVID-19. Now let's see this for ourselves through some of the cases. If I have to escape this, so I have to stop sharing and then go to
No,
video.
you can just click on the escape button as you go, or close your PowerPoint and then go to the videos.
Okay. So
Uh, Try putting the escape button, ma'am. So it will just come out of the PowerPoint.
I'm doing it multiple times. I've done, but it's not.
Okay, then you could stop share screen and start again. Just remember to share the sound, ma'am.
Right. अरे तो क्लोज ही नहीं हो रहा है.
Have you shared, ma'am?
No. Now I'm sharing again.
Yeah.
You can see the desktop, right?
Yes.
Where is the video?
On the top above.
Tell me, how are you doing?
I am better than yesterday.
Can you listen?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm asking this girl, how are you doing today? Now, what happened? I'm going to take you on a journey of COVID-19 from last year up to last week also. How I have dealt with it's my clinical experience. Okay, I'm not claiming anything. I'm not saying that this is the way out, but I'm just sharing how patients approached me and how I have dealt with homeopathy. So this girl you can see her how she has, this is how Rao sir has taught us that everything is very important what the patient does. If you can see her clearly, you will see she has worn a shield, the face shield. Inside the face shield, she has worn a mask, and today she has not worn gloves because this is a follow-up video. Here she will say that she's all fine. She developed lot of perspiration, and she's just fine because she had a high temperature, 102, 103, with lack of smell, lack of taste. Just listen to her, then I'll describe more.
Thanda, the 97 पे थी, and was not feeling weak. Neck was fine. Everything was good. I gave a test also. तब भी ठीक थी. उसके बाद I took rest. खाना like पी के.
So she's saying that she had her exam, she gave her test, and her temperature dropped to 97, and she's just perspiring, and she's just fine now.
तो neck में थोड़ा start हुआ था तो मैं I started lying down.
There was neck heaviness, so she started lying down.
Thankfully headache पूरे दिन नहीं हुआ.
So she had very bad headache along with fever. She's saying she did not have headache at all. Now, before understanding this case only up to here, I will give a background that COVID-19, the first question that my colleagues had was, how did you record the cases? This was a major hindrance in our practice, that we could not record our cases because the patients were not allowed to come to clinic. They were directly going into testing. And this girl, her family status is that she stays with her, this is very important, she stays with her grandmother, father, mother. Elder sister is married last year, so she's not there, and she's the only child in the house now. And she's done her MBA. Last year was going on, and then she got recruited also. So her finals were there, and that was the phase when all this happened. And the moment this lockdown was called for, she got so much anxious that now what? And everybody was like that senior citizens are catching it. So she was so concerned for her grandmother and her parents, but more for her grandmother. And when she got fever, more than her suffering, she was concerned that what if my grandmother gets it? What if my grandmother gets it? What if my parents get it? You know, they are also in that senior citizen category mode. Now what if they get it? Because of me they will get it. So this was her, and since lockdown she had worn mask constantly in the house also. Every day from morning to night she used to be in the mask, and everybody was fine. But in those 2 months she was the one to get this fever, and she was like, doctor, do something, but I don't want to get myself tested because then that 14-day quarantine and then all that process will happen. My parents, my grandmother, they don't have another house. I will have to go somewhere and they will get very much disturbed because of all this. And you know, the society, that isolation and all things were there. So this was the
Plus I was busy, तो उसकी वजह से भी ध्यान गया नहीं. फिर I think I felt low body fever. So around noon, I think I asked for breakfast. उस टाइम पे था, I messaged you. फिर मैंने मेडिसिन ली थी, और फिर 3 o'clock के आसपास टेम्परेचर चेक किया, तब 100, फिर तब भी हाई था. फिर उसके बाद मैंने दवाई नहीं ली, मैं बस बिजी थी, और अभी मुझे बहुत पसीना आ रहा है, लाइक, तो मुझे लग रहा है कि हो रहा है ज़्यादा कम. तो अभी मैं टेम्परेचर चेक कर ही नहीं.
तो कर लो ना, लाइयो.
So you see, this girl, she had not taken her selfie for so many days, for 2 months, till the time this lockdown and all was there. She was only in her mask. And this photo was sent to me by her mom. She told that, you know, after recovering from fever, by taking this homeopathy, the best part happened was that she took this selfie, and she was without her mask, and she was looking at herself in the mirror. Otherwise, she had stopped looking at herself in the mirror. You see, this case, I'm not saying that this was COVID-19 case, but this was the case with high grade fever and all the symptoms. and the changes that had brought about because of oh shit.
Oh, ma'am, now what we do?
Okay, I think maybe Pallavi's battery, her battery died of the laptop. We'll give her a few more. Now there's one logistic. Okay, Pallavi, you're there?
No, ma'am, she got logged off. And we are at 499. Somebody has to leave. But actually, the thing is, ma'am, many people are already there on the waiting. So as soon as someone leaves, someone else joins. So we can't like.
Manali, I'll talk to you on the phone.
Yeah, just wait, Manali.
So, rest of the team who's here on the call, please be a little patient. There's some technical challenges here, but I think Pallavi's here.
Okay. Great.
Give Manali a scare.
I had butterflies.
Okay, we are not able to hear you, Pallavi.
Ma'am, you're on mute. Yeah.
अच्छा अच्छा unmute करो ना मेरे को.
Ma'am,
You can hear.
you're on mobile.
Yeah, I'm on my mobile. I'm just starting my laptop once again.
So I'll do
sorry.
it for you till then.
Yeah, start with the PPT.
Yeah.
So this is the case, you know, the first case that came up without testing, did not want to test, and this was a priority of every citizen. You all will agree to it, because people were really very anxious at that time that if we get tested, 14-day quarantine with parents and grandparents at home, how am I going to manage and how are they going to feel about all this? So just analyze this case. It's a very simple case. All of you can do it. So before this, this case one. So should I see the chat box or people will unmute and talk?
We can read out the chat messages, but Manali, we still see the first screen, not the case. You'll have to move the slides. But in the meanwhile, Pallavi, there are people who are saying on the chat, Rustox, Natrum, cautious, anxious, carcinosin, lachesis, Rustox, Natramure. She's very cautious. Thuja, cocculus, Rustox, carcinosin, Kalika, phosphorus, and argentum
Yes.
also came.
Yes.
Anxious
Very
is
nice.
something that everybody is saying.
Yes, right. So I had given her carcinosin because of the way she had dressed up. You can see everything is so perfectly covered, and the kind of care and anxiety she had for everyone at home. Yes, Kavita. And many people have said carcinosis. Very nice. So on Telegram also last year we had Dr. Alok sharing his case of carcinosis on similar lines. Remember? So yes. So the difference I will tell you in last year's and this year's cases. I had used a high potency for this case. Carcinosin 1M was given, and here carcinosin 1M, and then 10M also had to be used to completely break down the fever. Now in the second case also that I'm going to show you, that also needed a very high potency, 1M and 10M. And the cases of this year I will show you, I could not go beyond 30. So those are the transitions. Why everything I will say, why this kind of transition happened from this year and last year. So the cases, rubrics you can see: anxiety, ailments from anxiety, prolonged anxiety about his family, anxiety for others, and fear of infection. So carcinosin 1M, and then 10M also I used. All right. So from laptop I'm not able to join again, I think, but this is fine, I guess. I will just join again from laptop. We can start with the second video in the meanwhile.
Pallavi,
Uh,
log out from your mobile.
yes.
Your house full here right now. Yeah, so if you log out, it will.
Oh,
So continue talking here. Is it okay if Manali shares the screen and you talk, or are there something
yeah.
that you have it on your
No, that's
screen?
fine. No, that's fine.
So let's
There's nothing.
continue in this mode. If you're
Start with the second case, Manali. Second video.
Is it audible?
Yeah, play it.
Yeah.
I'll just ask you to pause in between. So if you can see this report, this says that HRCT was done and there are COVID-19 pneumonia patches seen, and the details of the case I'll just mention when the video goes further. And this is a man of 51 years. And how we approach the case, that is very important to come to remedy. In this case, HRCT, so then this year it was done, we used to get scores. But last year, the CT scan reports, they were not showing scores. They were just showing that it has COVID-19 pneumonia patches. Just continue with the video, Manali.
तो आपको 4 दिन से फीवर है ना?
7 days.
7 days से? ओह, फीवर स्टार्ट हुआ था
The video played?
मेरे को एक्चुअली में फीवर जब स्टार्ट हुआ था ना, हेडेक से हुआ था.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
उसके बाद एक दो दिन तक फीवर था, फिर वापस खत्म हो गया था. फिर 2 दिन बाद फिर वापस आया. तभी हेडेक वेडेक कुछ नहीं हुआ था. नथिंग कोई हेडेक वेडेक कुछ नहीं था. नॉर्मल आया फीवर, वो कंटिन्यूस रहा था. कोई बॉडी पेन या कुछ ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था.
और कुछ स्ट्रेस था 7 दिन से जब से फीवर स्टार्ट हुआ वो टाइम पे 1 हफ्ते पहले?
Yes.
Pause. So when the case started, I asked that you have fever for last 4 days. He told me not 4 days, from 7 days. I was like, what? 7 days you have fever? And then he's telling me that along with fever, he has this cough and headache problem also. So I was like, how did you manage for 7 days? Because that was the time, peak time, when fever thoda sa bhi aaya and people would run to doctor and they would do something or the other. But then he was at home and he was just not doing anything. Okay, he was taking antipyretic and managing the fever. Now you study his FS, who all are there in his family. Just listen to the video. Continue, Manali.
बस ऑफिस का काम चल रहा था.
क्या
मीटिंग्स चल रही थी. मतलब ऐसा कोई ये नहीं था कि स्ट्रेसफुल था. ठीक टाइम फुल डे बिजी रहते थे. मतलब 5-4 दिन कुछ काम किया था, 5 दिन में एकदम सडन फुल डे एक साथ बिजी थे. सुबह 9:30 से लेके शाम को 7:30-8 बजे तक कंटिन्यूस मीटिंग चलती थी. बाकी ऐसा कोई मेंटल स्ट्रेस या ऐसा नथिंग वाज लाइक दैट.
उससे कोई फ्रस्ट्रेशन था, इरिटेशन था कि अरे कितना काम हो गया है, कैसे मैनेज करूँ, समझ नहीं आ रहा है?
वर्क नहीं था, उसे मीटिंग्स अटेंड करनी रहती थी. बट इट वाज समथिंग दैट वी हैड टू वर्क ऑन इट. या ऐसा कुछ नहीं था कि
That was annoying to you?
नो
वर्क फ्रॉम होम समझ नहीं आ रहा था यार ये कैसे हो रहा है, वो इनकन्वीनियंट लग रहा था.
नथिंग लाइक दैट.
Anything you were trying hard to achieve or reach somewhere and you are not able to do it?
ऐसा कुछ उधर तक नहीं पहुँचे, ऐसा कुछ
ये कुछ बहुत कोशिश कर रहे हैं पर नहीं हो पा रहा है, ऐसा कुछ?
आई डोंट थिंक ऐसा कुछ है, मतलब जो एंटिसिपेट किया उससे अच्छा ही है।
हाँ,
जो एंटिसिपेट किया तो उससे अच्छा ही है।
Okay. I
क्या
just agree.
मतलब जो पोजीशन पे आ रही हूँ, दैट इज वेरी गुड पोजीशन। मतलब
So what he's saying is, I have got this problem. You can see his wife, how she has also dressed up. If you can just from the blur image also, you can make out she has covered her entire face. Like with the dupatta, she has tied herself round and round, and only her eyes are visible. Okay, she has worn those full gloves up to her elbows. And this man has also covered himself and he has worn gloves. These are all very important things to notice also. And then I'm asking him that were you very much worried, or was there something which was troubling you, stressful? You were trying hard, because cough is something that a person is trying hard to achieve but not able to reach. Is there something that is not going as per your likings? So he's like, no, my work is going very nice. Up to this time of his life, this is the best phase of his work life, because he has switched over to a new job and it's just going fabulous. Even working from home, he has no problem at all. Then where does the problem lie? I'm trying to understand that why did he get fever, and what is his problem of life. So you have to understand the person and the personality. This is the personality. This is the deviation which we have to understand. That why is he not saying anything, or why is he not reacting so much, or why is he not so much concerned, or if he's concerned, then how is he showing that concern? Okay, just continue.
अच्छा, okay. You are very satisfied
Yeah.
with your work profile and everything. अभी ये फीवर 7 दिन से है ना, क्या करने का दिल करता है आपको जब टेम्परेचर हाई है अभी? तो
मेरे को ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, जस्ट अभी 2-3 दिन से मेरे को थोड़ा सा वो लेटे रहता है, वीकनेस थोड़ा सा लग रहा है 2-3 दिन से। बाकी ऐसे जो था भी फीवर तो मैं नॉर्मल रूटीन चली जाता हूँ, ऐसा मैंने मतलब ऐसे तो बैठ गया है ऐसा कि ऐसा कुछ नहीं था। अभी 2 दिन से थोड़ा सा वीकनेस जैसे लग रहा है मेरे को। अभी
तो
जैसे
क्या करने का दिल करता है? ऐसा लगता है आँख बंद करके सो जाओ,
हाँ, बस।
बैठे रहो, बात
बस,
नहीं करूँ?
नहीं वो बातें वो ऐसे लगता है कि बस सो जाओ थोड़ा सा, सो जाओ या फिर वो मूवी देखते रहता हूँ थोड़ा बहुत बस।
Pause.
बीच में कोई
Pause.
बात करेगा तो चलता है?
हाँ, वो कोई इशू नहीं, इरिटेशन नहीं है सर,
इरिटेशन
नहीं है। ये फोन कॉल्स चलते हैं तो ऑफिस के फोन कॉल्स तो आते ही रहते
वो
हैं।
भी आप अटेंड कर रहे
हाँ,
हो?
वो तो आते ही रहते हैं।
Manali, pause.
अभी मीटिंग
Manali, pause. So I was trying to find out that during fever, what is the state? How is he adapting himself during high temperature? He's like, I was confirming to him, do you get irritated if people talk around? Do you not want to see TV? Do you just want to lie down in the dark? Or so for everything, he's like, no, that's fine for me. I keep watching movies, or he just does some of the other time pass. He will not completely shut down himself and just sleep. So there was nothing that was troubling him as such. So that was something which was troubling me also, because I was not able to reach the remedy for this reason. And I was trying to understand what is this kind of state. I was giving him 2 to 3 medicines. I changed for him because I could not understand his major concern of problem of this fever. And 2 to 3 medicine as per the acute state I gave him, this acute whatever he was saying. But in the background, like as we saw, we have to understand what goes on in his life, what are the dynamic deviation, what has brought him up to here. At the background, now someone is commenting that husband and wife are having no communication. So that is a very good observation. Why is the wife not saying anything? So here I'm trying to figure out what is the matter, what is the matter. And then those 2 did not work, and wife opened up. I told him, see, if I do not, how will you get and the problem in the video that you take antibiotic and I get confused whether medicine is working on to him. Manali.
खत्म हो गई
Manali, continue.
मुझे तो फूड कॉल्स वर्क रिलेटेड आते रहते हैं, वो दिन भर चलते रहते हैं।
उससे आपको ऐसा नहीं लगता है यार ये बंद
मनाली?
थोड़ा टाइम ब्रेक मिलने?
I have already started the video. Can you hear me, ma'am? Preeti ma'am, are you there?
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess her
Yes.
network is a little.
Continue.
Yeah.
ऐसा
उल्टा अच्छा लगता है कि उससे कम इंटरेक्शंस, मतलब वो बातचीत होती रहती है, अभी तो किधर
माइंड डाइवर्ट रहता है तो
हाँ,
वो
हाँ।
अच्छा लगता है आपको। कोई और स्ट्रेस, एंजाइटी, कोई फियर या भी बुखार ठीक नहीं हो रहा है आगे का?
वो अभी वो
कुछ
कोविड
सोच
का
रहे
था, इसलिए कोविड का डर लग रहा है, कोविड नहीं हो जाएगा। That fear is since last 3-4 days.
कोविड का आपके लिए क्या मीनिंग है, क्या फियर है उसको लेकर?
मतलब अगर ये कोविड हो गया तो कैसे करेंगे, क्या होगा, क्वारंटाइन करेंगे कि घर में, क्योंकि आई एम स्टेइंग विद माय पेरेंट्स एंड माय सन इज कैंसर सर्वाइवर, तो इसका भी इम्यूनिटी लो है, पापा होने का भी इम्यूनिटी लो है, तो फिर इसके लिए तो डर लगता है कि कहीं डजंट स्प्रेड इट।
दूसरों को लेके ज़्यादा एंजाइटी है आपको।
Pause. Manali, pause. So what is he saying? I have parents at home, and my son is a cancer survivor. His son is in just 8th or 9th standard, and he is a cancer survivor. His treatment is already going on, and his parents are also 70, 80 plus age. So you see that time the paranoia which was there for senior citizens, again that similar concern is there, that my parents are there and my son is a cancer survivor. Because of them, I am worried that since 3-4 days this thought is coming, what if I have COVID? What if I have COVID? Then how will we manage? What will we do? So he just did his CT scan and he came for homeopathy. He did not go for confirming the COVID test because of this fear that how will everything get managed? You see the similarity of all the cases which will run through and through, and how we have to differentiate between them. Continue, Manali.
कितने दिन तो पैरासिटामोल ही ले रहा था, फिर परसों से चालू किया था वो एंटीबायोटिक।
मेन एंजाइटी आपके घर वालों को ही लेते हैं। अभी ये डोज दिया और उसके बाद से अभी तक कुछ चेंज लग रहा है आपको? ड्रास्टिक तो 15 मिनट में नहीं होएगा, लेकिन थोड़ा बहुत जैसे
मतलब थोड़ा लाइट, हल्का सा लाइट लग रहा है, तो मतलब जैसे बॉडी में थोड़ा सा वीकनेस लग रहा है, थोड़ा कम लग रहा है वीकनेस, जो तुम पहले तुम शिथिल जैसे बोले ना कि तुम थोड़ा सा कम है, डलनेस थोड़ा कम है।
आपका टेम्परेचर भी कम आ गया है तो
ठीक है, पैरासिटामोल लिया फिर सुबह जाए।
अच्छा,
बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा था, मतलब टेम्परेचर 1.8 तक जा रहा था। पति बात ले लेते हो गया ना, बाकी ऐसे सभी स्लीप भी अच्छा हो गया था। सुबह से अगर कोई 12-12:30 से 3 बजे तक सोए।
अभी दोपहर को
टेम्परेचर भी नॉर्मल था, मैं 2:30 बजे के आसपास चेक किया।
कल पूरे दिन नहीं लिया था ना पैरासिटामोल?
नहीं, कल कुछ आज फर्क होती है। 2:30 बजे चेक किया था टेम्परेचर, तब 99 तो 98.6 आ गया।
तो पैरासिटामोल का भी असर होता है ना, इसीलिए वो बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग हो जाता है उससे।
और वो एकदम तो
कल पूरे दिन कैसा था?
कल पूरे दिन में टेम्परेचर मेरे को बहुत फ्लक्चुएट हो रहा है।
आपको कैसा लग रहा था?
मतलब वीकनेस है, आज भी कहते वीकनेस तो है ही है, सेम वीकनेस है। कल खांसी भी बहुत था, आज भी अभी खांसी अभी कम हुआ है। वो गार्गलिंग चालू किया मैंने, स्टीमिंग चालू किया, बेटाडीन गार्गलिंग चालू किया। थोड़ा सा तो मैं कल तो बहुत था,
बहुत थी खांसी।
हाँ। और अभी दूसरे को नहीं, yesterday ऐसा हुआ था कि भाई कोविड हो सकता है, कोविड हो सकता है, मतलब जेरी से बात हुई थी तो बोले शायद
डॉक्टर है। अच्छा।
तो वो बोले शायद हो सकता है तो वो कोविड। तो कल लाइट
तो
मान लो दिमाग में
वही था, मेरे भी वैसे ही था। ओके।
तो अभी यार दूसरे को अच्छी मतलब था ना कि साउंड स्लीप हुई थी, एकदम ऐसे उठने का मूड
अच्छा, क्योंकि रात को ठीक से नहीं सोए थे इसके लिए। ओके। सेकेंड में
हाँ,
है ना,
फिर उसका तो एडमिट हो गया
फीवर चल रहा था।
हाँ, उसका तो
फिर
एडमिट हो गया।
लास्ट उससे फीवर गया आपका, फिर खांसी भी कम हो गया।
खांसी हो गई थी, खांसी का क्या है वो जैसे एक दिन ही आएगी, फिर एक दिन वापस आएगी। मेरे को लगता है कुछ तो भी खाने से कुछ एलर्जी है शायद। जैसे कल मैंने परसों मैंने मौसम दिखाई थी, उसके बाद मेरे को खांसी चालू हो गई थी।
So, in this case, if you all can hear me, I hope. So, there were two reports shown. One was of May 22 of 2020, where the COVID pneumonia patches were seen. And one was of June 18, where everything was cleared. And in this case, I had to use 1M potency, 10M potency to break the fever cycle completely, mind you, without antipyretic. Because I was telling him in the video that if you take this antipyretic, then I won't be able to judge the role of my medicine. So he discontinued that. Once he started feeling change, when he started feeling that yes, his headache is better, his coughing is improving, he himself broke away from taking antipyretic. He took 10 m repeated water doses and his fever stopped coming. And after that, I put him on LM potency when fever completely stopped. Then I put him on LM potency, continue 0/1 for next 10 to 15 days. And then when cough was absolutely fine, then this report was done where the pneumonia patches were cleared. Okay, so go to slide number 20, PPT slide 20. So there is slide 20. Now the FS we all have seen, both are in 80s, parents, daughter is there, son is cancer survivor, and fever develops in 7 days. How do we analyze this? I was shocked to know that he has fever for 7 days. And wife was not saying anything. Then I came to know when 2 to 3 days I took understand the problem of this person. That I came to know that there are a lot of quarrels happening in the house. He saw that he's not getting well, and still he was not getting angry with me. The reaction was not out and out. Okay, he was not saying that your medicines are not working, but he would just stop taking medicine for some time. And then his relative would call me up and say that, he stopped taking medicine because it's not working. What do we do now? So then I understood a kind of reaction of this person, that he's not reacting out and out. There are problems going on in the house, problems at the level where daughter-in-law and mother-in-law are having frictions because there were no maids in the house, and the house was in full chaos. Full chaos meaning there is nobody helping each other in the house. If they are helping also, there is criticism coming over. And this man, he is not able to understand to deal with this kind of situation, whether to explain to mom or whether to keep convincing his wife. Wife is again and again frustrated and saying, I just want to leave you all and go away because you don't take a stand. You take your mom's side. Mom says you take your wife's side. And then this man is developing fever. So this was the kind of scenario at home. And then since last few days when he started developing this anxiety that if he has COVID, then what? If he has COVID, then what? Then everyone around came to know that he is having fever, and then he sorted for treatment, looking out that what I can do next. So his brother-in-law was a doctor, so he approached him. Then his sister-in-law was a doctor. He approached his sister was a doctor. So that's how he opened up to his relatives later on. So how do we go about now? You all are coming to opium, natramure. The main thing to understand, for 7 days, a person is taking medicine without telling anybody. He doesn't want to disturb others. Okay, he's dealing with the problems himself. And in spite of getting no relief, now you come to Ignatia Megha. Yes, this is Ignatia. This is the state of disconcerted. This is what the patient is not able to express well enough. People are not receptive to his feeling. And then he just shuts himself, and he is disconcerted from inside. That now nothing works in harmony inside. He's not able to understand what to do and what not to do, how to change this scenario. There are no maids coming, but the mother is not able to understand, the wife is not able to understand. This is the internal state of disconcerted. And then the reaction is mildness, in the form of mildness. Bear suffering. This is bearing a suffering. Complaining without, and even without outrage. So the person keeps things to himself and he doesn't express. And inside he's completely distorted. Okay. So this disconcerted has a feeling of confusion, a feeling of anxiety, a feeling of feeling lost, not being understood. And then, nothing goes in harmony. Nothing is going in harmony at home. And this is the disconcerted feeling of this person. And that is why he developed this kind of problem. Later on, he did his confirmatory test where it was confirmed that he had COVID. So this was later, after recovering. I gave him 2-3 stat doses of medicine, but he was not fine. You can see the PPTs, sensitive to moral impressions. And this is what generally, ideally, an Indian male feels when he is disconcerted. He feels he's trapped. मैं फंस गया हूँ. They say, literally they say that मैं फंस गया हूँ, शादी करके मैं फंस गया हूँ. Before marriage, the man feels, wow, getting married and having wife every time, the girlfriend is all around, it is going to be a very smooth ride. But after marriage, they come to know, oh God, this is not what I had expected, because the wife has her own expectation, mother has her own demands. So how to match them? And that is where they feel trapped because of these family bindings, which they had not expected. These family scenarios they had not expected. They thought, every day I'll wake up with my wife with a beautiful smile on her face, and I'll just feel that the world is the best place to live in. But when he wakes up, he feels, oh God, the complaining begins. When he returns from office, a mom's complaining begins. And this all puts Ignatia, makes the male go into phase of Ignatia where he feels trapped and he says that, why the hell did I get married? So he was trapped not by the lockdown per se. He was not trapped by the wife per se or the mother per se, not because of the disease, but he was trapped with the entire situation as a whole. This is anthropology. This is the dynamics, the human being dynamics, the dynamic meaning of coughing. This is what I was asking him, that there is something which you want things to work out in a way, and that is not happening. So this was the meaning of cough in this case. I tried Naxvomika on him. He told I get very, very angry at time. But so I had given him anacardium also, thinking that he gets very angry. And then he shouts and yells at his son or his wife. And then he feels bad about it. So that time I gave him anacardium stat dose. But temporary little relief. But after that, he had to resort to antipyretic. So then after 2 days, when I understood this entire scenario and his reaction to my giving wrong medicine, that, you know, in spite of wrong medicine, in such a stressful situation, how is he reacting? No, doctor, that's fine. You want to give me more medicine, you can give me. So this is how he's talking. This is the morals. This is how a person talks to a doctor. This is something very peculiar, because I have people around me who are very rude to a homeopath. You know, if medicine is not working, they say bullshit. So this was the moral impression that he carried with him even in this disease state, the mild reaction to things. And then ghar pe jaake bolna, just saying this, that I don't want to take anything, that was disconcerted, that he says like this but he doesn't mean it. And then he will resort, he comes to you once again after others please him and say that you try once again, just talk to her once again, and then he agrees. So this is how Ignatia is. They yield mildly, and then, because, you know, that moral impression, you see slide number 24 where it states that everything is resolved. So let's move on to the third case, and that case is from 2021 when the gravity really multiplied. Okay, next case 25, slide number, if we see, it is a video case of ICU patient, and he was diagnosed COVID positive, and all his reports are attached in the video itself. So Manali, can you play video number 3? I will say its background till the time she comes to the video. The HRCT score was 10 on 25, and then it rose to 13 on 25 within a week's time. Within 4 to 5 days time, they repeated, because his breathlessness and coughing had increased. And he was on 8 liters of oxygen in the hospital on the day when I went to see him. And you can just see his family status I will narrate. He has his father, mother, himself, and his wife. He's married in a love marriage for last 2 years. Father is retired, mother is at home, and he is started a new venture. He's an architect by profession, and just a year back he had started his business. So just listen. Continue, Manali.
कैसे हो?
अभी better है in terms of breathing with this and coughing, but ऊपर लिखा है पता नहीं
क्या?
इसके साथ better है breathing, coughing भी better है, but ये निकालते तो problem
निकालते हो तो प्रॉब्लम हो रही है.
Pause. So when I went to see him, actually I called out his name. So that I had edited because I didn't want his identity to be revealed. I called out his name, and when he looked at me, he was lying on his abdomen. That was advised because yes, Preeti, because he's pneumonic, and that is how the poster they are asked to lie down on. He only explained this to me. I asked him because the patient who was right in the next bed, he was sitting, okay, and he was lying, and it was a complete COVID ICU, COVID ward. So then I was wondering why the difference, no? So this is the adaptation, you know, that the thing was that that man was sitting and he was lying down perfectly well as advised. So while going back, I asked that what is the HRCT score of this other man? He told that uska HRCT score is 16 on 25, and this my patient is 13 on 25. that patient is not lying on abdomen and just sitting, because this is how every person takes his disease very uniquely. So you understand that what is the way he takes his disease. So when he looked at me, he had those frightful eyes, okay? And I called out his name. Suppose I said Vicky, and then he looked at me like this. And then I said, see, I'm a homeopath. I have come to talk to you about your problem. So he will narrate how he is narrating about his problem. Listen very keenly. Even if you can't listen, please put on your earphones and listen. It's very important. What he is saying is only the case, because nothing else I got from the case. This is the crux. Okay. So observe very, very minutely what he is doing. I have edited the video according to the observations that I have made. Just listen. Continue, Manali.
आप ऐसे उल्टा क्यों लेते हो?
निमोनिया की वजह से बोला ऐसे लेते हैं।
अच्छा, आपको रेकमेंड किया गया है? ओके। आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी, थोड़ा बैकग्राउंड बताएंगे? मैं होम्योपैथिक डॉक्टर हूँ, डॉक्टर पल्लवी।
थोड़ा आराम से बात करो।
हाँ।
Pause.
संडे को बुखार आया था।
Pause. Pause.
आज वेडनेसडे है।
Now, in the meanwhile, I am helping you to analyze, okay? In the meanwhile, he asked me that, who are you? I told I am a homeopathic doctor. I have come to see you. In the meanwhile, what happened? He told me, homeopathy का नाम सुन के ना, people have some kind of irritation. So I don't know whether he had or not, but he told, थोड़ा आराम से बात करते हैं. I was like, थोड़ा आराम से मतलब कि उसने, he told that we will talk little slowly. I was like, okay. I waited. Then in the meanwhile, what happened is this oxygen pipe came out from the nostril. Just it dropped, and he was like, immediately he put it inside, and then he told me, yes, now say. So then I waited, and then I asked her next question. Start, Manali.
यही संडे को आया था?
उसके पहले वाले।
ओके।
फिर ट्यूसडे को टेस्ट किया था। थर्सडे रिपोर्ट पॉजिटिव रिपोर्ट थी। फिर फ्राइडे शाम को एडमिट किया था जनरल में दूसरी जगह। फिर वहाँ पे रेगुलर ट्रीटमेंट चालू था विदाउट रेमडेसिविर।
Pause. What is the sequence he is telling? Listen to it very carefully. What he told, that on Sunday I got fever. Okay. I told today is Wednesday. So you got fever on this Sunday? He told no, the previous Sunday. So how many days have passed? Already before I came into picture, before homeopathy came into picture. So 1 week plus 3 days. Okay. So 7 plus 3, that is the 10th day of fever I have come into picture. How he is saying, I told he, okay, you had fever on last Sunday. Then he told on Tuesday I got the test done. Thursday I got the report that I'm positive. Friday I was admitted in the general ward, and the report that he got on Thursday was having HRCT 10/25 already. Okay. And then on Friday he got admitted in the general ward. His cough and breathlessness increased. Okay. He is saying that, I am not saying, it increased. And then he was, again HRCT was done. He will say further what happened. Listen carefully. Continue, Manali.
ऑक्सीजन कम हो रहा है, उस वजह से शिफ्ट करते हैं। अभी जो ऑक्सीजन कम हुआ और सब हुआ शिफ्टिंग की वजह से ये रेमडेसिविर चालू किया कल 2 डोज देके और अभी आज तीसरा डोज होना चाहिए था पर पता नहीं अभी तक हुआ नहीं है। ब्रीदिंग में थोड़ी डिफिकल्टी होती है जब ये निकलता है।
Pause. Pause. So what is he saying? On Friday, he was in the general ward. Then his breathlessness and coughing increased. He was moved to the ICU, and from Monday onwards, remdesivir has been started. Today is going to be the 3rd dose of remdesivir. He is not improving. His oxygen, he is still lacking in, he is still breathless, and he is getting this cough again and again. See how exhausted he is feeling after the cough. And then he is telling, I'm getting this kind of discharge also. Okay, listen further.
क्या लग रहा है अपनी ये कंडीशन को लेके, प्रॉब्लम को लेके? मीन्स व्हाट आर यू फीलिंग? कितना, कब ठीक होगा, नहीं होगा? एंजाइटी लग रही है, डर लग रहा है, आगे का कुछ सोच रहे हो कि एकदम बिंदास हो?
नहीं ऐसा नहीं है, खाली वही है कि obviously I want to get out of this quickly.
Anything else worrying you?
No, nothing that's worrying me. Though it's more like, why is the procedure taking so much time?
And your age is?
30.
30. Okay.
I'm an architect.
You're an architect. Okay. You have your own firm? Okay. Any other stress was going on in the last 1 month or so?
Work related.
Okay. You're married? Kids?
No.
When did you get married?
2 years ago.
2 years. Okay. And who all stays with you at home?
Parents and wife.
Okay. You get along well with all of them? Any conflicts related to maybe relations, related to work?
No.
Okay. So maybe if you talk a little openly with me, I will be able
Yeah,
to
it is
help
done.
you in a better way.
Yeah. No issue. That's it.
Any anger, irritation, any quarrels happened recently? Anything that has emotionally affected you anytime?
No.
Nothing? What do you feel like doing the most? Like what makes you comfortable in this state? You just want to keep sleeping, you don't want to be disturbed.
Yeah. Also get rid of the feeling of breathlessness that comes.
Is it causing irritation for you if someone talks for a long time? Generally, how is your nature if you're not
Calm.
you're calm? You express yourself easily or you just keep things to yourself?
Mildly.
Mildly you express. What is your passion?
Working.
Working, you like your work?
No.
I'll send some medicines for you. You keep me updated. You're checking your mobile regularly?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can connect with me on WhatsApp and update me how you're doing when I send the medicine. So,
Okay.
thank you.
So this is the follow-up. Just pause over here. Everyone can read it. This was the follow-up given by the relative who was coordinating with me. So 5 dose daily, energy level improved, but not to optimum. Appetite is good, cough is reduced, and sleep pattern is good. Then 19th April, I went to see him on 13th April. He's doing much better. Moved out of ICU to normal ward or normal room. Third day, he's completely off oxygen. He should be discharged tomorrow. And then medicines were continued further. Continue further, Manali. Just complete this video. So, what was the say of the patient after last I spoke? So later the physicians told that you don't need to do another CT. Your cough is gone, your fever is gone, and you are just fine. So that was the hospital where they allowed me to go to the ICU ward, and I went there for 2 patients this time. Yes, he was given remdesivir also, and 2 doses were given, but he was not improving, and that is why the relatives, they were so concerned that they incorporated a homeopath into picture. So after giving homeopathic dose, his cough reduced. He was if I can show you the chat that he was coughing every minute, and after starting with our dose, his coughing frequency reduced. He would talk over phone to his relative without a break, without coughing. And that was when they understood that yes, there is an improvement. Okay. So if we can, and I had to again narrate the stay of the patient. He told me that I'm just wondering why it is not getting yeah, they have given full 6 doses of remdesivir were given to the patient later on. It was continued. But the thing was that he was not improving. And that is why, everything has to be taken into account as a whole. When everything is incorporated, we can save a life. It is not that I'm saying you give only remdesivir and you don't give homeopathy, or give only homeopathy, not remdesivir. The role of remdesivir is again controversial as per the current stand. So I don't want to comment on that. I'm just saying that how after giving homeopathy, what was the change? The cough frequency reduced, and yes, everything improved gradually. His oxygen from 8 liters, he came to 7 liters, 6 liter, 5 liter. Can you imagine from 13 to 19th, he was just off oxygen. And let's analyze him. What was he saying? That why it is not moving faster? Why after all the treatment given also, I'm not able to recover? This is the only thing going on in his mind. He's an architect, his work concern is there, any disputes, no disputes at all. And why it is not moving? Why this thing is not moving faster? That was his 2-3 times he told this in his say, if you could hear clearly. Okay. Now, if you go ahead with analyzing, all of you have come to Nux vomica, and you're losing self-control. Sorry?
Shall I change?
Yeah, move the
slide?
slide. Yes, yes. Move the slide. So, how he moved to look for his oxygen pipe. Immediately he was like, his reactions were like, he's in dark. Okay. So I picked up the rubric. First rubric I picked up was anxiety darken. And he was looking for light, that why I'm not able to recover, why I'm not able to come out of this. And the positiveness was there at the end when I asked him that, are you sure you're going to? Yes, I will be out of this. He's a very positive person, and that is why a positive person always thinks that why he's not able to come out of it faster. And that's how I came to Ruta. I gave him Ruta, and the frequency of coughing reduced, the oxygen requirement reduced, and he was discharged. So there is one additional rubric I will tell you for Ruta. More than carried desire to be fast. It is very close to carried desire to be fast. But if you listen to this patient's version again and the tone with which he is saying that why things are not moving, why I'm not able to, why the medicines are not working, this was his major concern. The way he was saying, there is a rubric anger driving while. That when you are on a journey, when you are driving, you know that you are about to reach. But why things are not moving? Why there is an obstacle? Traffic jam hoega, that will irritate them because they don't want those impediments in their recovery process. And why they are not able to recover? That hindered feeling is there. Okay, so this is all comprehensive understanding of giving Ruta. So this is how he came out of it. I did not have to go there once again. So any queries on this, we can and we will do one more study of Ruta at the end if you want. And there is one more audio case of Ruta if you all want, we can listen to it at the end. So shall we move to the next case?
Yes.
Yeah, case number 4, video. DD with hyoscyamus. Hyoscyamus is high spirited and hyoscyamus has tremendous fear of being betrayed. That will be seen and told by the patient that what are the doctors doing, what are the medicines doing. Delusion sold being is there in hyoscyamus, which will be told by the patient. That are these medicines even working? That kind of doubt, that kind of suspicion will be there in hyos. So that kind of doubt and suspicion was not there in this patient. He inquired about me and then he answered my questions also. So there was no much justification needed to explain to him further. So in hyoscyamus, generally they have a series of questions. That where have you come from? Where, why homeopathy? Who are you? Who asked you to come to me? So those kind of series of questions were not there. A doubt was not there. He was more positive that I have to come out of this. That's it. Okay. We will do Ruta at the end. Let's see another case.
What was the last rubric taken at the
Anxiety,
end?
doubt of the success. Success is I took it in comprehensive to his business that he has recently started, to the recovery process also, whether it is going to be successful or not. That is the anxiety, that why it is not moving after taking so many medicines also, why there is no sign of recovery seen. So that was the doubt of success, that whether he is going to come out of it. What is the COVID thing was on his head, that why I'm not able to recover after all these measures also, why I'm not able to come out of it. So that success ka doubt is always there in Ruta. It is the anxiety which was seen in the form of dark, in the form of this success of the treatment. That anxiety was seen, the way he was looking at me, the way he was holding the oxygen pipe in his nostril. So that anxiety, along with the treatment protocol, along with the business protocol. So the business that he has started because of the lockdown, and this is the reason why in the first phase higher potency was used, and now I had to come down to 30 because people have lost on their jobs, they have lost on their money, they have lost on their successes. How they could have gone very high at young age, starting a new business, and then suddenly everything is shut. So it is very discouraging for anyone, and especially a youngster. So that is doubt about success, whether this business is going to really flourish. So that's why I took up this rubric as a whole in connection to his professional life, because in personal life, he had no issues at all. He just told, I'm an architect, I've started a business and it's not doing well. So that's how I connected the dots. Okay, so this was my prescriptive rubric as a whole. We will do this in detail at the end if we can wind up with another case.
Ma'am,
That's
shall I
fine.
start?
Yeah, start the next video.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
और सबकी केयर करेगा, मतलब ऐसे डैडी को अगर ठीक नहीं है, उसके पैर दुख रहे हैं तो पैर को ये करके देगा, मसाज वसाज करके ऑइंटमेंट लगा के देगा। लेकिन खुद का है ना, तो मैं
What, ma'am?
Screen, the video is not seen. Only I can hear, I can't see.
Yeah, same here. Actually, it's not seen on my screen as well. Wait, I'll
Oh.
just forward it and see if it's playing.
उसका वो जो सबके लिए केयर करता है, उसमें अगर किसी ने उसका कुछ
This is the video of the case, no, ma'am?
So Manali, we can't see the video at all. Maybe you've not shared your screen. I mean, you shared only the slide.
Okay. Now is it visible? Damn it. One second.
Shall I play it from my screen? Can I show?
Visible?
No, it's not visible. Shall I show my screen?
Yeah.
Is it? It won't be readable. It's ulta for everyone, no?
Pallavi, do you want to try logging in from your computer now?
Don't log out from the mobile.
Keep your mobile logged in, but try logging in from
Okay.
your computer.
Okay, I'll just try. So it will take little time.
Oh, ma'am, is it visible now?
Yes, yes. Now it is visible. Good. Great. So, now you can see the report. Yes.
At the start, I guess there is a audio and then there is the video of the patient.
It will come. It will come. Now the audio will begin. First is the HRCT report. So if you can see the report, the count was 20 by 25 of this patient. And I will just give a brief background with which you can see the case. Okay, he's a 36-year-old male, and in his family, there are, so these are the points to be considered when you go to see a patient or when you come across any case. So family background and the professional background, this is how Rao sir has trained us to see any case. And I generally follow it as a rule, because without it, I'm not able to connect the dots easily. So father, mother, and there is Bhabhi. Bhabhi is the co-sister, and the brother's daughter is there, and his elder brother passed away in an accident. So everyone is dependent on him, and he is there, his wife is there, and he has a small son of 2 months of age. Okay, wife used to be, sorry, 2 years of age. Wife used to be working earlier, but since delivery, she is also at home. Father has retired, and this is the background. Now you go ahead, Manali, with the video.
और सबकी केयर करेगा, मतलब ऐसे डैडी को अगर ठीक नहीं है, उसके पैर दुख रहे हैं तो पैर को ये करके देगा, मसाज वसाज करके ऑइंटमेंट लगा के देगा। लेकिन खुद का है ना, तो मैं बोलूंगी ना आपके पैर दुख रहे तो मैं दबा के दूं, नहीं अभी ठीक है, मैं दबा के दूं। उनको शोल्डर में थोड़ा सा पेन होने का पहले से तकलीफ है, थोड़ा थोड़ा ऐसे राइट शोल्डर है ना, वो दुखता है उनको।
ओके। उसका वो जो सबके लिए केयर करता है, उसमें अगर किसी ने उसका कुछ कमी निकाला या उसको टोक दिया, तो वो उसको बहुत फील होता है।
बहुत बहुत
वो एक्सप्रेस करता है, वो बोलता है कि अरे मैं इतना करता हूँ, उस पे भी तुम लोग ये कर रहे हो।
हाँ, वो सब मुझे बोलता है वो।
अच्छा, तुमको बोलता है, सामने वाले को नहीं बोलता।
नहीं, सामने वाले को नहीं। तो उसको बुरा लगता है कि मैं इतना करता हूँ, और फिर ये लोग को ये नहीं, मतलब
कदर नहीं है इसी सब।
Pause. You paused, no? So the wife is giving me some information about him, that he takes a lot of care of every family member. He will press legs of his father, of his mother, of everyone in the house whenever he sees them in any kind of pain or when they are tired. He will take care of everyone. And then he says that I confirmed that when he does so much, and if people find out some fault of his or they criticize him for anything, does he feel really bad about it? He says that he's very bad about it. He feels bad, but he tells that only to me. He doesn't tell this to everyone. जिसका भी बात बुरा लगा उसको जाके नहीं बोलेगा. He will tell to me only everything, whatever his emotions are. And so the all the responsibility of the house is on his shoulders. Running the house financially, and that big support that people seek for. Then wife also told that when I and his mom, we both go for a night walk after dinner, we tell him that you come for a walk with us, but he says that no, now I'm tired, I cannot come now. So 12 hours he will work from home, and then at the end he will just want to lie down. He doesn't want to do anything then. And then in the morning again from 8 o'clock he will be online, and he will keep working and working till night 9 o'clock, and then he will just be exhausted and he will sleep. He will just lie down, and then if he sees people in pain or any trouble, he will be up for them. It is not that he will not do, he will just lie down, but he will take care of everyone and then take his own rest. So this is a background, and then you see how he says. And when the patient will say now further, whatever questions he's answering, he will have tears in his eyes, which are not visible because of the edited version. So he had tears in his eyes when he spoke about his feelings. Just continue, Manali.
अजून टेन्शन आहे कसलं तुम्हाला? टेन्शन कसली काळजी वाटते? भीती वाटते मनामध्ये? फॅमिली. ओके, ठीक आहे.
बताती हूँ, और क्या चेंजेस है मुझे ज़्यादा स्पेसिफिक बताओ उसके ऑक्सीजन में, उसका बाकी पैरामीटर्स सब.
ऑक्सीजन में अभी 10 to 12 लीटर फ्लक्चुएटिंग है. 89-90 हो रहा है. आज थोड़ा अभी हिल रहे हैं ना, तो फिर उनका कम ज्यादा हो रहा है. मतलब सुबह स्पॉन्जिंग के टाइम पे 60 तक भी गया था. हाँ, थोड़ा भी हिल रहे हैं ना तो उनको तकलीफ, और उनको आज ज्यादा मतलब ऐसे ये हो रहा है, ब्रेथलेसनेस हो रहा है ज्यादा.
बेटर हो अभी? ओके. अभी ऑक्सीजन कितना लग रहा है? 1 लीटर ना. ओके, वेरी गुड. सीटी स्कैन किया है वापस से? सीटी स्कैन रिपीट किया? अच्छा, नॉट रिक्वायर्ड बोला. सांस लेने में अभी कंफर्टेबल है? जाएगा, धीरे धीरे खांसी भी जाएगा, है ना. अभी डर निकल गया ना? वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड. ठीक है. और कुछ दिक्कत? और कुछ नहीं ना. बस वो दवाई चालू रखो, खांसी पूरा ठीक हो जाने तक चालू रखना. हाँ, ओके ओके, ठीक है, चलो. हाँ, बाय, ऑल द बेस्ट, टेक केयर, बाय.
So this was the case where when I asked him in that state of he was 20 by 25 was the score, and 15 liters oxygen was going on. And then after starting with the medicine, gradually changes came. His oxygen, because now here also, if you see, all the allopathic drugs were going on from 16th of April, and I met him on 3rd of May. Till then, everything was going on with the same CT score, and he was still breathless, he was still coughing, and the condition was same. The entire course of medicines were going on, and there was no sign of recovery coming from him. Now, 3rd of May, 7th of May, and 10th of May, those were the 3 follow-ups, and then he was from 3rd of May the medicine started. 7th of May his oxygen, they dropped it to 11 to 12 liters. They started fluctuating it to see how he's doing, and then 10th of May he was reduced. It was further reduced, and then you can see how it came to 1 liter, and he was saying that also on and off. And then he was discharged on the 14th day of starting homeopathic medicine. Just mind you, 16 days of those medicines were going on, but recovery was not happening. He was going on, he was surviving, but he was not showing any positive sign. So you see, everything is important to keep the survival mechanism also going on. All that was needed, which was going on, and to bring you out of it also, something additional is needed, and homeopathy provides that boost, that stimulation. Okay, so here is our role, which is very important. The causal plane that Dr. Pastero was talking about, it is this causal plane where you come out of your striving and you want to achieve something, you want to create something, you want to be productive. So this person wants to be productive in his life because he has so many people to look after. Okay, and most of you have reached to the medicine also, and there will always be some or the other confusion or DD remedy. Everything will be there, and you have to be very, very careful at those times. That yes, if he goes away, then what? Everybody is dependent on him, and that is who is that thing, on whom everyone is dependent. That is the head of the family, who is the productive person, the head of the family, and who is working hard and who is genuinely taking very good care of all of them. And if something negative comes over, he doesn't react to them. That is the strength of this character. He feels I am working hard day and night. So this is Rustox. Now see the PPT. Yes, it is very close to natrum self. We will differentiate Rustox and natrum self. And the next case of audio was of natrum self actually, but I don't know, we don't have time. I will just wind up with this kind of conclusion of this case, and how to differentiate these remedies finely. Okay, some work I have done, some work you all can do. So slide number 32, 33, 33, anxiety children about, fear of disaster, helplessness, that I can't do anything. I can't come out of this situation. Fear of disaster is there on his mind. Disaster is what? Disaster is something unmanageable and uncontrollable. Nobody can predict it. It just happens, and everything is scattered like an earthquake, like a flood, like where everything is just gone. That day, the kind of tsunami and the kind of thunderstorm that just so many trees were destructed, and the houses, everything, there is destruction all over. That is disaster. Everything will be out of hands then. Then to repair and to bring about things in place again, it will take a very long time. Till the time kids grow up, who will rear them? That is the fear of disaster of Rustox. And the anxiety, it is somebody on Telegram was asking, what is anxiety of business? Dr. Yashwant has presented a case in the tribute webinar. I have yet to see the tribute webinar. I will just see it tonight, because I was out and I had to prepare for this webinar. I really missed it, and I will see it now. So what is this anxiety business? So Russ talks is the center of the family, the head of the family. If you see the rubrics of Russ talks and some rubrics of head injury, you know, natrum self is told. Dr. Mayur has taught us so beautifully natrum self, that natrum self, the head injury. What is that head injury? Somebody says something to you and you have been taking care of everything, but that is there in Rust talks also. So this is why I wanted to differentiate these remedies very finely. You know, for natrum self kind of head injury, there are options for natrum self. You know, the kind of responsibility that he takes, it is not that only he can do it. There are other people also who can take over that responsibility and take charge and do. But for Rustox, there is no option. It is all on his head, and he takes it up, and he does it in a very nice manner. He will be emotionally attached with all of them, and he will do it. And natrum self takes over. He feels I can do it. Rustox does not feel that I can do it, but he strives to do it. Okay, that is why Rustox is there in delusion. Work hard is working hard. Okay, you see this slide number 34. See the sequence of events which we have already discussed. I gave only Rustox 30. In the previous case, I gave only Ruta 30. Here I gave only Rustox 30. Same potency kept on for 14 days, and till now I told him just continue till the time your cough is completely out of your body. Okay, so 30, why? Because the energy levels are low, because the emotionally and at every space, in every way of life, people are feeling low. They are feeling low about themselves. When it comes to family life, when it comes to financial life, the energies are low after the setback of the first lockdown and the continuous triggers coming from here and there, the bombardment, the bombardment. So the body's dynamicity is also working at a low pace, at a low level, and that is why 30 was continued. So there is pathology and dynamic activity, that is a mental fear. So that is why 30 is a medium potency to just continue on that potency, and he was out of it. So now if we have to differentiate between Ruta and Rustox, so this is how I study homeopathy. If you come to slide number 35.
Ma'am, can you see
now,
my screen?
yes, I can see your screen. So now my cough is also reduced, Nilesh. So you see, it is the dynamic expression, something saying about the person that, you know, he wants to do, and I was anxious at 4 o'clock, I have to end. So this is how we have to see the patients also, understand that what are they striving for, what is going on in their head, that this cough is coming up so much. So everyone is striving for something or the other in this pandemic, you know, and they are not able to achieve. And that is why coughing is coming at so rampant scale and so commonly in every household. Anyone is having anything, the cough is there, because that striving is there in everyone's life in this kind of situation that we all are stuck in. So if you see the common rubrics of Ruta and Rustox, ailments from injuries, accidents, from mental symptoms. We will do this differentiation with natrum self also. So ailments from injuries, these are common ones. Okay, anxiety dark in, it is there in both of them. So both get anxious in dark. Anxiety, respiration with impeded respiration. Okay, respiration is again exchange of ideas. So the wife told, no, he doesn't tell this to others, he tells it to me. So this is impeded respiration, the limitations of inner and outer world, what Dr. Pablo Castro was saying. So this is the limitation, the impeded respiration. Business incapacity. For delusion, he had committed a crime. Fear of being hurt. irritability spoken to being, praying, selflessness is there in both of them. But Ruta, where does it differentiate from Rustox? The selflessness part. We will see. Restlessness from sitting. That means they cannot sit, they cannot rest. They have this restlessness. They cannot sit at one place. Restlessness from pain. Both are in pain, both are in injuries, both are in joint problems. We will see further. Delusion, die. One was about to die. This is how their fears are. Now, the point is both are better by warmth. What is warmth? How do we understand warmth? It is the affection, the love, that caressing, that affection provided by his own close people. And worse from cold. You know, cold shoulder, they cannot tolerate it. Dr. Krish has imbibed in our heads about Dalkamara cold shoulder, that they cannot tolerate anybody just not showing the kind of response after, you know, a wife cooks something and husband is completely engrossed in his phone call, not even appreciating or saying that wow, it's so tasty. So that is a cold shoulder. So that is what makes them worse. Now Rustox is poison ivy. Okay, that is why if you see in Rustox, there are delusions. Poisoned he is being by medicines, and delusion being injured. So this is the poison ivy, and Ruta is herb of grace. Ruta is herb of grace. When there is a downfall from grace, that is the stage of Ruta. So when one person who has been very powerful, influential, in a graceful position, can a powerful person can come down to Ruta when the grace comes down in his life in general. Okay, that is the fall. That is the downfall of a person, and that is when Ruta is indicated. So Rustox is given in joints, tendons, and connective tissues. Okay, the sphere of action. So connective tissues, what? So this is the difference. You see, Ruta sphere of action is uh, Manali. I'm on the next slide. Huh. So Ruta sphere of action is joint, tendons, cartilage, and periosteum. So you see, not the differences, just the previous slide, number 36. So in Rustox, the pain is better by gentle movement, and in Ruta, the pain is better by rest. You see the difference. Connective tissues are spread all across the body, which are connecting each other, all organs, all systems. You see, Rustox is connecting every family member with each other, connecting, binding everyone. And in Ruta, it is cartilage, periosteum. It is so specific. It is to that, limited to that area, limited to that person. Okay. Now, Rustox pain is better by gentle movement. Rustox, even in sickness, will want to keep moving so that there is no stagnancy. If there is stagnancy, then he will be completely bedridden. So in pain, Rustox always want to keep moving. Anxiety, stoop. If he lie down, then he will just succumb to the illness. That is why fear and anxiety sitting bent. They sit bent so that they can move anytime. They can just get up and start running anytime. So they will not lie down completely. They will want to sit bent purposely. And in Ruta, better by rest, because Ruta is concerned for his pain and his health, and they will take rest. So this will be the difference, the activity. Okay. Slide number 37, we will start seeing some slight differences. So in Rustox, if you see, there is activity with sleeplessness. So Rustox की नींद उड़ जाएगी. He will be sleepless because of the activities. And in Ruta, activity alternating with weakness. The fall of grace, you see there is weakness coming in Ruta people. Rustox ailments from business failure, losing money, and in Ruta ailments from anxiety and disappointment. So this is the fall of Ruta, anxiety and disappointment. There is no particular business failure nahi ho gaya hai. Business was there, but about his success there is a issue. That is the anxiety. It is not that he has failed. When Rustox, he has failed. Okay, that is how ailments come. So this is how slight differences you will see at whatever is there at physical level has a dynamic connection with the mental rubrics also. So anxiety of family, household, business, children, all is interlinked. These are the connective tissues of his life. And in Ruta, you see anxiety with despair, anxiety, doubt about success of his own self. Okay. Then if you see in Rostov, there is carried desire to be fast, delirium talking of business, delusion, alone being. So this is could not rise up if he stooped. So he would not prefer to do something by which he could not come out. That is why he keeps deliriously talk of business. This is something which he is really concerned of. Okay. And in Ruta, delirium after abortion, like complete failure, and he goes into delirium. What he does in delirium was my audio case actually. Die she must. Hindered is being. Contra and delusion arrested. So that audio case, I can give it to you all. You can listen later. And the case was that he is an Ayurvedic doctor and he succumbed to COVID-19 and his oxygen was going up to 55, 60, 65 range. Now, what he did was he went to one hospital. Then there all the treatment protocol was followed, but he was not recovering. So he took discharge. He told, I want to run away from here. I don't want to stay in this hospital because it is not giving me any results. Just imagine Ayurvedic doctor aware of everything. He is doing it. He forced his son to make him out of this hospital, and the son is himself a doctor. Okay, he doesn't listen to his son. He says, I want to go out of here. He moves out of there. His oxygen dips further. Okay, 65, 55. And then, the son is up and down that my father, what is he doing with himself? Then he goes to another hospital. He admits himself and says that I want to stay here. After going to the second hospital, again, everything is being followed. And he's not recovering. His oxygen is not rising. And he removes the oxygen mask and he says, I want to take discharge. After staying there for a few days, he again takes discharge. He comes out of the hospital and he is not accepting the suggestion of his own son. Okay, this was the case. He was not accepting suggestion of his own son and he is telling him that, let me die, let me die. And at the same time, he is telling me all the medicines that he has been taking. He's telling me, I have taken remdesivir, I've taken this, I've taken that. All the doses he's telling me so many times, nothing is having impact. And he's not even on oxygen cylinder. Can you imagine? He was just breathless and talking to me. We did a video call. And I'm like, are you not worried? What are you doing with your life? Well, no, I'm just going to die like this only. So then I understood this scenario where contradictory actions to intention, his intention is to get well, but he is not doing those actions. Okay, completely contrary. And he's dictating, he's defiant, he must die, he says. And he feels that they are hindering my recovery and he just walks out. So this is the contradictory state of Ruta and suicidal disposition. And I gave him Ruta 30, and after that, the next day itself, he was much better. He started putting oxygen. His oxygen rise to 85, 90, and 95 also. In next 2-3 days, he was so much improved, and his son fell sick. His son got fever, and he was detected of COVID. I'm telling you this because we have to understand the dynamicity of this interrelationship. What Rao sir has told us, that IPR we have to understand, interpersonal relationship. All these remedies are related to each other so nicely. Then son messaged me one night at 1 o'clock, and it was just the first or the second day of giving Ruta to his father. He told, you take away your fees, doctor. You never know, if I die, then who will give your fees? And I feel now, लाइन लिखा था कि बचाने वाला जाने वाला तो बच गया और बचाने वाला ही चला गया. So I was very much shocked to read this line. He told, I have got this fever now and I'm going to die. So then I spoke to him next day. I was like, doctor, please tell me what happened. So he's like, now I have got, my wife has got My father is all fine now. And then, I was like, what is troubling him? He's like, my father is not listening to me. He is listening to everyone else, but not me. Then I gave him Natrum Self. This is the problem of Natrum Self. They take things on themselves, although there are options around. So this is how Natrum Self takes up responsibility. Even though it is not needed, he will take it up and he will then take all the stress of that responsibility. That he told me this, that honor wounded is there in Natrum Self. If you see here, the differences in Rustox and Ruta.
Ma'am.
The family. So, and in Ruta, it is more towards himself, about his own self. Okay. So, I have not included. Wait.
Ma'am, what do you want?
If you go to slide number, do you have the slide number 45?
Yeah.
Natrum Self and Rustox. If you open that rubric, both of them have common rubrics, of dullness after injuries of head, sadness after injuries of head. Both are there in these head symptoms. Means both are the head of the family. Both have got the control of everyone's life. But this is the difference that I'm trying to explain. Okay. Both are in love for family. Both have got those ailments from death of loved ones, the love for their loved ones. Both are in suspicious. And if you go to slide number 46, you see the difference in them. 46 will show that where they move apart. In Natrum Self, art ability, coquettish too much, attached strongly. They have that possessiveness over their people, and that is why they take up their responsibility. Whereas in Rustox, there is no possessiveness. It is because they are related to them and it is on their head, really on their head. Okay. If you see in Natrum Self, there is delusion appreciated, she is not. So they are doing out of wanting to be appreciated. Delusion disgraced he is. Okay, so this is the, yes, I will give you the PPT, no problem. Okay, so in, if you see slide number 47, you see this, Rustox, like how this wife was saying that after working, he just wants to take rest. Then he doesn't want to go for work. He doesn't take care of his health at all. So it is being at home, working hard, taking rest, again then working hard, taking rest, being at home, ritualistic behavior. So this is where Rustox revolves in his life. And if you see in Natrum Self, they are more dictating, they are fastidious, they are self-control increased is a part of Natrum. And the differentiating point is that they will be dictating, they will be haughty, they will feel disgraced, they will have insanity from injuries to head. And then they have to restrain themselves from the suicidal disposition. He thinks that he has duties for his family. So this is one essential component. Okay. Now we can go to
for a time check, ma'am. We are at 4:15 right now.
Yeah, it is done. 40, slide number 40.
40 you want? Just a second.
So slide number 40, and I just want to conclude.
Yeah, ma'am.
Where 40 you have removed. So this is the picture of my college days, of our college days, the first year pharmacy trip, and all of us are seen in this. And Manisha, Hetal, Poonam, Preeti, Prajakta, and our Dr. Samir Chokar sir, Page ma'am, all our fourth year seniors, everyone was there in this trip. We had a lot of fun, and it's just that we look forward for having this fun sometime in our life again. And thank you so much, Healing Harmony, for calling me on this platform. Thank you, Preeti. Thank you, Prajakta. And thank you, HHF, because here, whatever remedies they have taught, they are all so much clinically applicable and replicable. And this is something which is very unique about HHF. Ruta was taught by Dr. Krish for the first time. Then Rustox has been taken by Gupta sir. Then Natrum Self by Dr. Mayur. So everyone, they are putting their own efforts and they are doing their own research. They are giving us everything on the platter, and we have just to apply them. Just observe minutely, work towards it, and you will get marvelous results. And homeopathy has got a very bright future because we are doing something which no other science is able to do, and that is why homeopathy is superior. So be confident and just stay focused. You all will get those opportunities, and you all will get those successes for sure, 100%. So these are times where we have to pull each other up, and so that is why I love you all. And this love is this energy. This is a spiritual connection between all of us, which cannot be created, not destroyed. It is always there. And I'm full of gratitude to my masters, Dr. Mohanty sir, Dr. Gupta sir, and Dr. Malendra sir, for shaping me so well, for bringing out the best from all of us. And these are my details. This is my book, which contains those step-by-step everything, what is needed to be a very good homeopath. So you can place your order to Dr. Sheetal Sawant, and I would like to thank Dr. Sonam for doing a beautiful editing of all the videos. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Manali, for screen sharing and all the load that I gave you.
No problem, ma'am. It was my pleasure.
Hope all have enjoyed and benefited out of.
Yeah, ma'am. It was a wonderful experience today and learning from you. So it was great to see you today, and wonderful cases and the results that you showed us, ma'am. It was
Thank
very
you.
inspiring for us.
So thank you, Pallavi. I think it was very, very, very nice cases, wonderful analysis, the differentiation of the remedies, the videos, and the ICU patients that we could see. I think it was marvelous with the entire presentation and the videos. And your passion was, yeah, was, you know, contagious in this.
Thank you.
Good.
Hope to see you all soon now.
Yes, we look forward for more sessions, and this learning should grow, and we'll keep going and
Definitely.
doing this more. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all of you for joining us, and we'll look forward for the
Yeah.
further sessions. Bye. See you all.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Manali.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.